Okay guys, here we go. Took me a day to prepare for this video. I started out wanting to show some of the outfit sets that I had made, that I had sewn for my big Twigling dolls, and then I was getting so many of them out, I decided why don't I just get the rest of them and make an updated Twigling collection. So this is my larger Twiglings only. This isn't including my mini kindreds, Minangenu and mini Pieta. So they don't all have new outfits. I think everybody except one, maybe? Yeah, I think just one is wearing stuff that I have sewn for them. But I thought I would go ahead and kind of go through each doll kind of briefly. But yeah, this could definitely end up being a longer video depending on how much I ramble and talk. But yeah, I'm gonna start over there and I'll move my light source with me so we can see. So I think these are all my fantasy. Oh, I guess my Obsidian girl isn't up here, but there's some tan girls there. All of my fantasy colored girls except for my Obsidian, which is on the table. But we'll start with these gals. And boop, boop, boop. So this girl is obviously a hybrid. She is a 2012 Dolce casted Twigling body, and in their oriental resin definitely has some yellowing, but very solid, beautiful body. I was very happy when I found this on the secondhand market a few years back. But yeah, Doll's Own Deer Head. Yeah, really love this hybrid. I also have a wolf head by Doll Family, I think, that made it, that I like to put on this body sometimes, but that one doesn't have a face up. So, yep, and she's wearing a new one of those bustier with striped shorts. I'll just move on down the line here. Next here is my Nikuru. I think she was my first Nikuru. Yeah, she's in Vivid. Was part of the casting from the long layaway, so it's not a skin tone you'll exactly get again because it's not the same casting company. But I really like how her outfits set turned out with her coloring in this wig. I just think she looks really beautiful. Yeah, I love Nikuru's big beautiful eyes too. Can use some of my larger eyes with. Next to her is my, this was supposed to be silver or the limited edition. It was I can never say the word, Argos. So I slaughtered it, I'm sure. But she's Doll Casting Services purple resin, essentially. I have, when I bought her, let's see. When I bought her, I also got the open-eyed version to go with it, and eventually I'd like to get another purple body for this head. Yeah, I really love her. She's pretty awesome. I love the purple resin. I like it a whole bunch. Let's see, make sure this light's on. Next to her is my this is my Oryx, and she is in mint resin. I have two Oryxes, and I love this this resin color. My next doll, she re-released the ingenue. I think she made the head a little smaller, is my understanding. I haven't really, I don't know if I've seen photos of like how she looks on the body, like the proportions, but I definitely want to get her, and I'm still undecided what resin color, but it might be this mint. But yeah, so there's my Oryx. I love her face up too. Next to her, I guess I forgot to say, these two girls are Dolls Casting Service, and they're, you know, more recent dolls, like dolls that I've gotten the last couple of years. They were secondhand, and then these two were straight from Reese. I counted up the dolls. I have 23 dolls, and I think 10 or 11 of those were directly from Reese, and then the others were secondhand. So about half and half. But yeah, on to my gorgeous Pieta. I have two Pietas. I have version 1 and version 2. This is version 2 Pieta, and I still really love this tan color. It was casted by Haro Casting, and it's a really gorgeous translucent sandable resin that just has that kind of warmth to it. One of my favorite resins. But Haro Casting, there was such a lot of throwaway miscast with the resin that he refused to cast any more dolls, any more large dolls, and so it was one of the reasons that Reese moved to Doll Casting Service, because Haro Casting just didn't want to do her dolls anymore. They were difficult and translucent resin and a lot of waste and just expensive. So, but next to her here is my teal Elbe. I have two Elbes, and this girl is casted in this, my favorite teal resin of all time. It is so stunning and vibrant. Was a doll from that Spanish caster from the long layaway, and lots of other casting issues with it, but yeah, she's really gorgeous, and she's wearing, I think she looks really good in this pink color. It really looks so vibrant and awesome with that vibrant teal. Love it. My gray Gamine. Really love this outfit set, how it looks on her. This girl was a Haro Casting, one of the last batches that Haro Casting did. And then next to her, you guys have met her, well, you've met a lot of these, but my most recent girl, she is my Lilac Twigling Nikuru. Of these 23 dolls, I only have 2 dolls left that need face-ups, and that is pretty awesome because it's hard for me to do the face-up thing, sending them out, arranging that. Like, I'm really bad about that. So I'm these 2 dolls basically are the 2 dolls that need to be sent out, which I think, yeah, good. It's quite the accomplishment from 23. I've sent a lot of dolls out the last few years. But yeah, Lilac Nikuru from Dolls Casting Service. Next to her is my, this is the darker tan color. I think she calls it Sienna Tan. And it's kind of one step down from this dark color that Dolls Casting Service offers. This was a limited edition color, and so currently anyways, you can't order dolls in this color, but you can in this dark color. they're both really gorgeous resins. Really, really nice dark color. And their resin is so nice. So Dolce Casting Service in Russia makes beautiful, beautiful dolls. But yeah, so my Sienna tan. It's a dark tan by Dolce Casting Service. Next to her is my another one of my gamines. I have 3 gamines. Yeah, I have 3 gamines. And I forgot to say how many ingenue I have. 1, 2, 3, 7 ingenue, if I counted that right, of the big girls. Yeah. But yes, so my gamine, she is in Dolce Casting Service turquoise colored resin. And I think she lists it as teal when you go to order. But there's other colors that you can get in the teal. You can get under the same heading is their mint, and they have a blue, which I don't own. I don't own one of their blue dolls. It's one of my goals is to have one of my Twigling ladies in the blue resin. But yeah, this is the teal turquoise, the true turquoise color that Dolce Casting Service actually offers. And it is really lovely. Oh, how about I bring my light over here? There we go. Light. That helps. Down the line. So this beautiful ingenue, I've been playing with her a lot. She's been the doll that has been, she's the one that's been carried around with me, that goes up to my bedroom with me, and I sit her next to me when I'm sewing. She's just one of my favorite dolls. I just love this doll. She is in the pink or cream or pink normal skin. This was the version from the 2015 long pre-order. These girls, they have such wide hips. These girls from the 2015. So the short girls, I just love the short girls from this 2015. They're actually a lot taller, just because their boutes are so magnificent. So yeah, I really love these short girls from this casting. And then next to her is my only Kalo. Eventually, my goal is to get a Kalo in a fantasy resin color. My first priority, though, is to get the new ingenue in a fantasy color, either the teal or the mint. And then after that, a big girl, a big Pieta in a fantasy resin. I haven't decided what color yet. Maybe purple. I really, really like the purple. And then Kalo, hard to decide, but kind of leaning towards purple. We'll see. Every time you get a doll, the balances shift and change, and what you want in your collection alters in ways that you don't always expect. So, but yeah, eventually I would like to get a Kalo as well. But this was the limited edition color. It's their darkest brown before black. And I forget. I want to say they called it ebony, but I could be wrong. It's a really beautiful. You know what? I did forget a girl. Shoot. As I'm sitting here, I'm realizing that I don't have my my third Nikuru. Shoot. Okay. Maybe I'll run up and get her. All right, let's just come down here and take a peek at these girls. And get them on video. These are actually all of my ingenue in the line here. And then some other girls and my Eloys over here. There's a gamine up here that didn't fit in the lineup. Yeah, I kick myself not bringing down my Nikuru. Like, I know exactly where she is. She was kind of in an off kind of place where I didn't immediately see her. So, yeah, kick myself. So that means I have 24. But I forgot to go back here. This gamine was direct from Reese. This was a second-hand girl. This girl was direct from Reese. So, okay. Should we do the ingenue girls? Let's save the ingenue girls for last. You can see my sewing mess behind here. This is my third gamine. She was actually my first gamine. And she, again, was one of the last dolls to be casted by Doll's Casting Service before the move, or excuse me, one of the last dolls to be casted by Haro Casting before the move to Doll's Casting Service. She has a freaking gorgeous face up. And I wish I would have prepared myself with names of the face up artist. At this point, I've used so many, and I'm really, really bad with remembering all their usernames. Maybe at some point I can put a listing here with all of that information, like face up and wigs and all of that. I'll try to do that at some point. It might not be up immediately, but I'll try to get that on there, that kind of information. Most of these dolls I've posted prior on my channel or my Instagram with information like that, and it's a lot of work to include that every time you post an image, and so if I've posted it several times in the past, I kind of don't anymore. So it's if you do some digging, it's there. I do like to do shout outs to artists. I think it's an important part of the hobby. They do valuable work that they don't get enough attention for. I am just amazed that I can get face-ups done on my dolls at all, because for the most part, the skill and the ability isn't charged nearly enough. And so lots of great face-up artists have come and gone because it's not financially, it's not sustainable, and so they leave. And so I am, for one, very, very grateful anytime I'm able to get a doll painted by an artist. And so this girl is my second ingenuise. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, she's my second ingenuise. The head, anyways, I put her on the smaller busted body. So these girls, here's my other ingenuise. They have the long-fingered hands. These elf ingenue and the ingenuise were a collab with Nanolin or Magic Mirror, and she did this bigger bust. The bigger bust on the current girls is a different big bust that was sculpted by Reese herself. But originally this big bust on the elf in ingenuise were sculpted by Nanolin. But these girls were such grails. The elf, the Obsidian Black Elf, was like, I couldn't believe I got her. I couldn't, like, an elf ingenue was the first Twigling doll that I saw. It was back in 2014, and they were photos from, what's the big show that they aren't going to have anymore, the big one in France? Boy, my brain today. I have spoony brain today, so as usual. But yeah, anyways, by the time I even knew about this doll, she was a special doll. All of these elf and Ingenui's girls were special collab, a limited edition. You know, by the time I even knew about her, it was done and gone a long time ago. But, you know, you keep your eyes out. Everything always comes around eventually, is what I've learned in this hobby. And so I was very, very lucky enough to get one of these girls. She's amazing. This girl, or these two actually, were my very first Twigling. I participated in the long layaway of 2015, and I was really one of the first people to get my dolls because they were the white resin. The white resin was the easiest to cast, and so those dolls came first. And sometime in April that I got them. This is the original body here, and I had these two heads. These are the only, well, that's not true, but these two original ones I did the face-ups on, which aren't terrible. I prefer more fantasy type face-ups, but I don't think I did too bad. They're decent, you know. But yeah, these were my two. Shortly thereafter, I got my hands on another body, and I have some the long-fingered hands that I gave this girl. But yeah, that was my original two girls. I made them originally. This was Herla and her mother Elandria. Those were my. So they're very special as far as like. They weren't the colors that I really wanted. There was a lot of things, but they're very, very special, just because they were the first. And it was that was back during the time where the wait was more painful, because it was earlier in the hobby, so it was, I feel like that, you know, when the first couple years in the hobby, those waits are just murderous. I have so many dolls and so much to do that waits aren't that big a deal to me. I do like to get my dolls, you know, eventually, but yeah, I don't fuss too much with waits. Let's see here. This girl is a hybrid, actually. This was, I got this head on the secondhand market. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. This was, this Ingenui's I got directly from Reese. She sold it to me from her private collection. These two, of course, I bought from her on pre-order. And then these two girls on the secondhand market. And then this girl, yeah, the Twigling Ingenue head was on the secondhand market. I bought her and then ordered this Dolce, oh gosh, I forget, classic something body. It is a gorgeous body. And that was back when Dolce actually seemed to deliver dolls. It was about 4 months to get that body. I've been waiting like over 3 years on 3 bodies now that I just kind of said bye-bye to that money a long time ago. If the dolls show up, it'll be fantastic. But yeah, anyways, I love Dolce bodies, but I just can't recommend them unless you get them secondhand. But anyways, yeah, I got this. Took 4 months for this body, and it's a gorgeous hybrid. It's an absolutely gorgeous hybrid. Okay, next to her is my Elbe, and she was, I think she was just considered a tan resin. I don't remember. She was technically from the 2015 long pre-order, but the tan dolls got totally munched. And so at that point, she moved from that caster. It was the Spanish caster. They had problems all throughout their casting process, but still could send the dolls out. By the time they got to the tan, it was a disaster, really horrid marbling, just big problems. So at that point, Reese made the change to Haro casting and opened it up if people wanted to submit some orders. And I took advantage of that and ordered this tan Elbe and this tan Pieta. So those were technically long pre-order. I waited. It took a long time. I think even after that point, which by that point, you know, these dolls came in April 2016, and then later in the fall, she allowed people to put in the places for these. And I want to say my memory was 18 or 19 months. You know, for 18 or 19 months. Things are definitely better. That being said, recently, I mean, the last few years it's been great ordering Twigling dolls. Dolls Casting Service cranks them out. You can have a doll in 3 to 4 months if they're fully paid off. But recently, Reese posted that there's an actual resin shortage, and so it won't stop me. Once I save up the money for a down payment on a doll, it won't stop me. It just keep the dolls coming, you know, right? Either way, you have to wait is the way I look at it. And yeah, I waited for some of these dolls a long time, but look at them, they're all here, you know. So eventually they come home is the way I look at it. Except for Dolce. Dolce doesn't come home. I'm trying to think when I ordered those dolls. January 2017. How long ago was that? 18, 19, 20. It's more like 4 years, isn't it? But anyways, moving on. But yeah, this was my first Elbe, and this resin is gorgeous. Okay, here is the last of the girls, and then we got the Eloys here. But this is my I keep wanting to call her mini Pieta. She's a normal sized Pieta, and she was casted by, it's Island Dolls, but they have a different name. Weiju, I think, is what they call their casting service for when they offer it for other people. But it's Island Doll. And I want to say she was probably 2014. Is probably, I can't remember exactly, but it is a really gorgeous kind of translucent resin, really beautiful color, just a beautiful doll. And she's the original Pieta. She's not, the other Pieta I have is version 2. This is version 1. I don't think she offers version 1 anymore. And they're similar, but they're different sculpts, and so I definitely wouldn't mind having more of either one because they look enough different. Okay. I'm trying to move my light around. Hi, babies! Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, these are my Eloys, and they're hybrids, of course, because she didn't offer a body at the time. I guess what she's done, and I haven't seen, maybe I just haven't looked if she's posted or not, but photos, she's shrunk down the Eloy head now and to fit her regular body, so that might be something I would consider at some point. Definitely is an Eloy head on the Twigling body, a shrunk down, and make it a girl. I could definitely get behind that. But yeah, these are my 2 Eloys. They're both casted by Dolce. This one was a white skin that I blushed to match like a normal skin, pink skin. And this one was my biggest accomplishment face-up wise, because he was in the Oriental resin, which is, you know, like the normal skin. And I ordered this body for the head in tan, not realizing that it was going to be this dark. I just know when I opened that on the video that I just kind of have this look of shock on my face, like, oh no, because I had this head that was like this, and and this was before dyeing, you know. I think at this point in time I would attempt dyeing or get someone to help me dye it, because it's a lot of people have it worked down to such a good degree with the dyes that are out. So this was before people were doing that on a big basis, and so I blushed that. That's all. It's all blushing. I didn't paint it. It's pastels, layered on pastels. It took me a couple of weeks. Just putting on layers, letting them dry, putting on layers. I took my time with it, you know, just let those under layers really set up for a day or two, and then I would do it again. But this is the Dolce, I don't know, 28M Classic something. It's got all the joints. And he's got a pair of Veneto hands that have yet to be dyed. But I do love the Veneto hands on this body. It looks really nice. Oh, and whoop, no falling. Okay, you can lay down if you want. There you go. But no falling. This guy is on a, what do they call it? The timeless body. It's the Veneto body, which I love. I mean, I think both these two bodies are amazing for the Eloi head. They're obviously two very different type of body types, and so I don't like to say that I like one better than the other. They're just very different looks. So long and lanky versus, you know, really thick, strong guy. So I love both of these hybrids quite a lot. So here, I'm gonna run upstairs real quick to grab that Nikuru, just in case I'm not able to edit this later like I would like to. So in the meantime, while I run up real quick, do that. Enjoy looking at those girls. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Here she is, this gorgeous Nikuru. She was casted by Haru the same time that my version 2 Pieta and Elbe, but I got her secondhand. She's a freaking beautiful doll. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, sorry, I just did a quick count. 24 big girls. One of these days here I'll do an updated Menangenu Mini Kindred video too. But, oh, she's heavy. Another hand here. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that was fun and you could see the girls. Yeah, I love twiggling dolls. Okay, thanks guys for watching. Bye bye.